What's going on, everybody? Today's educational video is about 3 semi-aquatic lizards that you can find in today's hobby. Let's get into it. So in today's video, we're going to go over the Chinese water dragon, the basilisk lizard, and the Caiman lizard. They're all three lizards that are masters at living on land as well as living in the water. Let's go ahead and get into it, starting with Chinese water dragon. Okay, y'all, so this is a talking head style video, but we're going to try to add as much graphics as possible so we can give y'all a image or an idea of what these reptiles look like or interact in the wild. So starting off with the Chinese water dragon. I got my notes right here in case you see me looking to the side, but where are they from? They are from Southeast Asia. I can put up the provinces, the Chinese provinces up here because I don't know how to pronounce them, but they are from these big, beautiful forests in Southeast Asia and China. They can also be found in places like Laos, Vietnam, and I think Eastern Thailand as well. Um, so yeah, they're this beautiful green species that love these forests that have rivers or streams in them. They're not found in places that don't have rivers at least a kilometer away. So if you're thinking about keeping this animal in captivity, always remember I need to put water in this tank, or in this enclosure. I would say 40% water for a 40 or 30% water for a Chinese water dragon is perfect. It's ideal. So let's go into what they eat. So Chinese water dragons in the wild, they're going to be feasting on different insects, small invertebrates, and actually fruit. They'll be eating the different figs and different berries that are falling and fermenting in the forest out there in Asia. So some people actually feed theirs blueberries and different berries. So that's appropriate. Just make sure you search up which ones you can, because I don't personally own a Chinese water dragon and I don't want to lead y'all the wrong way. But let's go into captivity. I think Chinese water dragons are a pretty cool pet. They're pretty relatively available. You can find them sometimes in chain stores like Petco, PetSmart. Um, but a lot of those ones that you do find are imported. So you want to you kind of take a chance on an animal that's imported from the wild due to like parasites and stuff like that. So if I could recommend you a place to get a Chinese water dragon, I would recommend getting the captive born one. They come with, like I said, they don't come with pre-existing parasites, but they also come with a little bit better temperament for the animal that they are. They can be a little flighty, but as they grow into adults, they usually calm down. Um, Make sure you give them climbing space in their enclosure because they're semi-arboreal. So semi-arboreal means they like to go up in the trees and stuff sometimes, and they're also semi-aquatic, so they like to use the water. So, like I said, enclosure with 30% water, nice climbing perches for it to get up above the water. They love to jump down into the water. So yeah, that is a Chinese water dragon. Let's go ahead and get into the next one. So, moving on to an animal that looks similar to the Chinese water dragon, we're going on to the green basilisk. The green basilisk lizard is actually from Central America. So, put up the map like right here or something. Um, they love rivers in the rainforest. That's where their niche is. They are going to be right next to the river, even closer than the Chinese water dragon. Remember, I was saying Chinese water dragons, you won't find them farther than a kilometer, a couple kilometers away from the river, from away from water. Green basilisks, they love water. You'll usually find them, a couple feet away from the water. Why? Because they have this crazy adaptation to be able to run across the water really fast, and use the water to their advantage to get away from predators. So, what do the green basilisks eat? The green basilisks like prior, like the Chinese water dragon, they like to eat insects and vertebrates. Invertebrates in their case also include small fish, minnows, and they also eat fruit. They also eat these different figs or different berries that fall in the forest, in the rainforest. Let's go on to our captivity rating. In captivity, it can be a hit and miss with green basilisk lizards. They're going to need a lot of space just because of how flighty they are and how fast they are. And they also need a lot of water. So if you can provide the space, go for it. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to these lizards. If they don't have enough space, they'll be stressed out. But if they have enough space, even when they get stressed out, they can run across the enclosure and quote unquote get away from you. All right, y'all. So that's going to wrap up the green basilisk. Remember, these are two different species, the Chinese water dragon and green basilisk. One on the eastern side of the world, one on the western side of the world in Central America. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into our last semi-aquatic reptile or semi-aquatic lizard, the Caiman lizard. Alrighty, y'all. So let's move on to our last candidate, the Caiman lizard. So, in my opinion, we saved the best for the last. This is one of the most spectacular lizards that are available in our hobby. Unfortunately, it's one of the more newer, obscured species due to its location, where it's located. There's a lot of, I think the word for it is embargo, or um, you can't export from some of the countries that caiman lizards are found. So it's harder to get caiman lizards in. Um, and due to that fact, we haven't had a lot of experience with keeping caiman lizards. Caiman lizards are from the swampy river areas of South America, so we can do our best to replicate them when we do get them in captivity. Another big thing is people haven't been able to find anything other than snails for the most part to feed their caiman lizards. That just tells us in the wild these caiman lizards are eating, crustaceans and snails in the swampy, flooded forest areas that they come from. Um, they're an amazing lizard, but they also get pretty massive. I've seen some get 3 foot. I've seen some really massive caiman lizards, and their life expectancy is also really long. So it's a long-lived species, gets really big, and it's also semi-aquatic. So if you take all those into consideration, if you have experience with reptiles, I would say go for it. But if this is maybe your first or second reptile, even third reptile, I'd say stay away from it. This is very a niche species, a very specific species. So just do your research if you ever want to get a caiman lizard. What else about the caiman lizards, y'all? They're beautiful. They got these orange, the red heads, green bodies. Their scalation is resembles more of a caiman, other than like lizards. Um, yeah, they are very, very, very interesting reptiles. Let's go ahead and send this to the outro and get out of here. All right, y'all. There you have it. 3 semi-aquatic lizards, proving to you that you can have the best of both worlds. I hope you enjoyed this style of educational video. I wanted to get something out to y'all.